Don't usually have to hold a microphone like this. I feel a bit like Tom Jones, if anybody's got his number. Veeam, I'm not going to go through a specific Veeam-related presentation today. This is more generalized. It's about DR as a service, okay? I was going to ask people to stick their hands up and tell me what DRAS actually meant, or what DR as a service actually meant. But in all honesty, it's different for every company that we meet. The one very, very difficult thing to do is to provide a solution that meets all of your varying needs, okay? Now, fortunately, in conjunction with Central Technology, Veeam has been able to do just that, provide you with a DR as a service via Central Technologies. So let's move on. There are many, many elements to consider when you're thinking about DR, or business continuity. How many of you here actually have a business continuity plan in place right now? Okay, all right. Thank you very much. And that, to be honest, is about the right percentage in the room to what we see wherever we go. Some businesses need to have a very, very tightly defined DR, or business continuity service, for their primary applications in particular. Some of that's because of regulatory and governance, but in all honesty, everybody should be looking at business continuity in DR, not because we say so, but because the number of companies that go out of business when you lose that data, that makes your business, it's your data, your intellectual property, the thing that defines you, the thing that separates you from the guy down the road. When you lose that identity, when you lose that data, or you lose the ability to trade in today's very, very fast-moving markets, it's remarkable how quick a company can disappear just because they can't trade. For some of them, for 24 hours. It means that much to those companies. So BCDR is absolutely critical for any modern business that manages data and needs to be online and available. If you think about web shops and your simple processes like a shopping cart, ordering systems and ERP, any of those systems, that you need those to be available in order to trade, in order to be a part of the wonderful online market. Okay, so if you're going to set up a DR or choose a DR solution, then there are a number of things you need to get in a row before you actually lay your money down and pay for this service that's going to save your business. And that's not an exaggeration, by the way. There were some figures by Gartner released not long ago that basically said of the people who have disasters in business, there's only 7% that survive beyond 2 years after that disaster. Okay, this is real. So the important thing is to try before you buy. Make sure that you select a vendor like Central Technology and Veeam who provide a service that you can try before you buy. With Central Technology, you can try from their website and be up and running within 15 minutes and test this technology for yourself. Okay? Any Veeam customer will already have the ability to be able to connect directly to Central Technology and start protecting not just the data, but any of the workloads that you have in your environment too. Okay. So DR as a service, ideally, you see no capex, no management costs, and it's pay as you go. It's a utility. This is very different from how it used to be. So the interest in disaster recovery over time has actually diminished. If you look at the Google stats for the phrase DR or disaster recovery. It's actually diminished. So why am I here talking to you about that? Well, the reason for that is that disaster recovery as a service has increased as a search item. And disaster recovery as a service is something that a lot more people are now interested in as a result of people like Veeam offering services in conjunction with central technology. Okay, apologise for the wavering voice, by the way. Okay, so which solution should you choose? Obviously the green one, because that's Veeam. But no, which solution should you choose? It's very important to check that that your services match with those that are offered by your service provider. In our case, Central Technology is a Veeam cloud service provider, providing Veeam Cloud Connect services, DR as a service and backup as a service to you. Okay. It's also important to take a look at the platforms that you utilize within your businesses, because they need to match with what's provided by the online provider. Okay, so VMware, vSphere, Windows, Linux, Apple, Microsoft, Hyper-V, what do you have in your environment? Take a look at it carefully and match it up with your provider. Do we do servers? Absolutely. Do we cover workstations and laptops? And that's something we've been talking to Central Technology about very recently. We have offerings in that space, and we'll very soon be offering that with Central Technology. So is it just about replication? Well, no. In all honesty, it's not just about replicating a workload from one place to another. Although that's useful, it's part of the process. It's not just about that. Replication is the enabling technology underneath, but you still need to make it a service. You still need to provide a wrap around that to allow yourselves to be able to interact with the disaster recovery platform so that you can turn on the disaster recovery virtual machines to ensure that your business continues. Okay? You also need to make sure, of course, that the platform is multi-tenanted and, more importantly, secured. So make sure that that data at rest is encrypted. Make sure it's encrypted in flight. And for customers, well, you consume a slice. Oops, I've done it now. For customers, you consume a slice of the environment as a dedicated resource, but your virtual machines, your workloads, are all isolated from each other, from your neighbours, yeah? from the next tenant. But at all times, you have full control. So it means that you can also run tests to meet governance and compliance requirements. You can run them from an interface that Central Technology have branded for you. Okay? Automation is important when you're choosing a DR, BCDR provider. The level of automation that is available enables you to cease worrying about provisioning new equipment in colos or in secondary sites. It enables CT, Central Technology, to speed up onboarding. I said a few minutes ago, go to their website, click on a button, you can be working within 15 minutes. Okay? Allow integration into existing or custom portals, and that's exactly what Central Technology have done. They have some very, very high-level technology experts that have integrated Veeam's Cloud Connect platform directly into the Central Technology website. Okay, I can't commend highly enough. They are very, very good. As far as you're concerned, you end up with better management of your resources thanks to this self-service. All right. Integration. So for customers, DR becomes just another option of your overall availability strategy. So you've got backup on premises, you replicate virtual machines, or you replicate workloads to central technology, and through a simple web interface, you can test or turn on those workloads in central technology should you wish to. We actually have people who use this technology to migrate from site to site. For customers, DR becomes just another option. Comprehensive view of the different copies and their workloads, and improved management of their data with various protection activities. And of course, the biggest thing for me is it's really easy to use, easy to consume and easy to use. Okay. And then there's the biggest problem and the most overlooked problem with most solutions. This is the horror of networking. Okay, so a lot of people and a lot of companies have spent an awful lot of time trying to standardize how a customer connects into a data center. All right, it can take several consultants, some equipment, and lots of time in order to connect your business to a specific data center. Veeam have actually done away with that, and what we've said is, do you know what, leave that to us, we'll connect it. We'll connect you securely to your service provider. All right? It's not that bad, but layer 3 routing, complex VPNs, some network overlaps you may get, re-IPing virtual machines, it all gets very complex. We don't do that, okay? It becomes hard to automate as well. If we're doing this manually and it's a case-by-case basis and we're connecting people up on a case-by-case basis, it becomes very, very complex and difficult to support, okay? There's no real self-service if we're choosing this methodology, and failover is not completely automated. Whereas with Veeam, it's simple to connect. We deal with that VPN connection and we deal with the failover. So we have what we call transparent networking. This is the no VPN rule. External connections should be available via a simple yet protected connection. Okay, just like web browsing, and that's what we've managed to achieve at Veeam. The connection should be single and used for both replicas and workload traffic, or backup and replication traffic. And this should be automatically deployed and configured. Guess what? We achieved that, thanks to the integrations with central technology. But also we need to be able to preserve the communication between running virtual machines. So it's all well and good being connected, but when I have a partial failure, my ERP stack with its database, its application server and its web interface, one of those components goes down, my ERP stack is dead. I can't use it. So what do? Well, in a partial failover scenario, with the Cloud Connect environment, you can turn that on the platform in Central Technologies and have that stack appear as if it's on your local network. Okay, so partial failover, so it's service level protection as well as total protection. Okay, so only when you combine these technologies do you end up with a complete service like we get from Central Technology with Veeam Cloud Connect service. And that's all I've got to say, unless anybody's got Tom Jones's number.